Hi, everybody. Let's start. Richard was forcibly removed from his barracks room there on Fort Bliss as a whistleblower soldier. Security was breached. Security was not offered to him. He wasn't taken care of, and he's not the only one. He's not the only one, but he was forcibly removed. He was taken to a soundproof room, and they took his life. They took his life, and his body was then stolen. They dismembered him, and his body, his remains were trafficked. We want his remains, and we have a lot of breaking news. Um, I know that I have to always hesitate when I give the introduction to Richard, and people go, "Why? Why in the world?" And I want to say one thing: Trump. Okay, these people that did this to Richard have such hatred for President Trump because President Trump wants America. He wants America. He does not want a foreign entity ruling our country or many foreign entities ruling our country. The criminal trafficking, the open border policies. That's what these people want. They make billions and billions of dollars on open border policy. And not only that, by controlling the government, um, the government, right? All the .gov, and they make billions with this fraud, with the deception that they put over us, and then require taxes. Just like this whole USAID, NPR. KTIP was NPR was public radio. They're so up to no good. They're just a propaganda machine for the criminal trafficking syndicate. So they just want to use uh, the the success of the United States um, to to extort um, from it. They're just like grasshoppers. Yeah, they absolutely. And then they want to live high on the horse, but they've just caused a country to spiral downward. And it doesn't matter to them because they become very, very evil. And their loathing of President Trump is so obvious in all of this. It's so obvious. And that's why they retaliated against us, because they knew that we were MAGA supporters. They knew that we were supporters of Make America Great Again, that we were supporters of President Trump. Um, and they knew that Richard was. And because Richard was MAGA, because Richard uh, is a Christian, is from a good family, and taught morals, taught true patriotism, which means to do your duty, stand in the breach, in the line of duty, um, and don't cave in to those that are traitors, and that's why you see the generals hating on us, hating on Richard, because they're the traitors. General Sean Bernabe, the Lieutenant General Sean Bernabe, General Mealy, General McConville, General Garrett. They are they are just so low. They are the lowest of the low. You can't get a worse name for them. Okay, they're such traitors, and they're traitors, uh, deceiving that, stolen valor, really. I think that they are stealing the valor of our uniforms, stealing the valor of the stars that they wear, because they absolutely do not serve the United States, do not serve the flag that they swear to, the Constitution that they swear to. Um, and, the flag is a symbol of that, right? And, you know, they they absolutely are total traitors to everything that they, deceive us to be. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. Well, they wrap themselves in a flag, but underneath they're rotten because they're serving foreign and domestic enemies. That's what's happening. I mean, it's very clear, and that's why um, they were so uh, that they dismembered Richard, and that they trafficked his body, that they stole his body, that they came after us and plotted, schemed. And, for a long time, people didn't believe us, but we have so much overwhelming evidence now because they haven't stopped. So, 5 years of it, the people that had even a little bit of doubt are like, oh my gosh, look at these very, very evil people. So, overwhelming evidence now. But at the beginning, in 2020 and 2021, when we would say what was happening around us, they would question it, right? They would question because they didn't want to lose faith in our government. And uh, so today is a huge day, with James Comey. A lot of people are like, oh, James Comey, because he went after the president. So this is a tit for tat. But no, James Comey, it was not a tit for tat, y'all. James Comey is absolutely a traitor, absolutely a traitor, because his job was to be so much different than what he weaponized it for. He weaponized his position. And now we have Christopher Wray, which we can absolutely see. James Comey left it in 2017. So, but we've been dealing with Christopher Wray until early 2025. Okay. We've been dealing with Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray is absolutely compromised. Christopher Wray is absolutely deserving to be arrested, to be prosecuted. He absolutely, and we put up a list of just, some things, a fingernail, a little thimbleful of what should have done, what he should have done in his position, but didn't. Because he was too busy serving foreign and domestic enemies against President Trump. And Richard is a symbol of President Trump because Richard is a whistleblower for Make America Great Again, right? He does not want he didn't want criminal trafficking. He didn't want the worst type of crimes against children. And it is, let me tell you, they all knew what was going on Fort Bliss. They called it the death camp. Hundreds of that. You don't give that kind of nickname when nobody knows. It's just that because people are compromised, the system uh, the system was designed to compromise our soldiers, so many soldiers are compromised. Okay. And I don't want to pass a judgment on them. I'm saying they bring in these young girls or whatever, and the soldiers might not even know how old they are. They bring in all kinds of alcohol beverages and all kinds of substances. The leadership promotes it. I mean, it was the command sergeant major that told us that he was promoting it, that he was bringing in the young girls during the COVID lockdown to have these parties, and these parties of these young girls, a lot of these young girls are mules. They bring in all kinds of stuff. And he was being very proud of that. He was very, very proud of that. And all that gets filmed, and these girls are absolutely trained. You should have heard how Boleyn talked. She knew exactly what kind of substance with, I mean, 20 different substances she could rattle off, like she was a cigarette salesperson, the cigarette girl or something. But she was more than that. She was more than that. She was selling more than that. Okay, and these young girls come in and they're absolutely trained to take videos. The videos are very important to compromise our soldiers. So, they all knew what was happening in 2021 when uh, the the turbo force to traffic children, hundreds of thousands of them through Fort Bliss. Um, you know, uh, they knew because they called it the death camp. They called it the death camp. So Richard didn't want any of this to happen. And of course, we know for a fact, 100%, that he was a Trump supporter, like us, that he was a patriot, an Army supporter. Of course, he was distinguished honor graduate for basic training for his cycle and for AIT. Guidon bearer, he was a real patriot, um, and wanted to be a CID agent. That's what he wanted to be. He wanted to be like FBI. So, he was all about law enforcement, getting the criminals. He was all about that. So we know that he had a notebook. We know that he kept notes. Um, we know that he identified crimes and reported crimes. He was a whistleblower. We know that he um, absolutely knew what was going on in the Walmart mass shooting and the orchestration of it. We know now that the Walmart mass shooting was orchestrated. Look, we know that FBI agent Colin Whetten is compromised, is a really bad guy. We can't forget what he did. I mean, he is just rotten through the core. And guess who worked with him? Michael Maiella. Okay, the Maiellas and the Whittens know each other. Okay, they run in the same circles. They might, one is a really established Mormon family, the other, I think the Maiellas go to a Roman Catholic church, but they run in the same circles there. And the Maiellas, you cannot even forget the betrayal of the Maiella family. Okay, you cannot forget it. Um, they just messed up the whole Walmart mass shooting. I mean, they were themselves witnesses. They themselves needed to be put on the stand. Especially with Michael Maiella being in the DA's office with Jaime Esparza, who walked the crime scene and took pictures of it before it was even secured. That was so illegal, y'all. And we have confirmation of that. And here, Michael Maiella Jr. is working in the DA's office right beside him, right for him, with James Montoya too, right? And and not only that, but Michael Maiella was given like very free reign because he was working for Walmart cybersecurity. Walmart cybersecurity. Where did those videos go on that day? August 3rd, 2019, the Walmart mass shooting. He would know because he worked for Walmart cybersecurity. And, and then he was in the FBI office, working in the FBI office. He seems to be pretty good with the computer. He's a trained hacker. He's a trained hacker, and the FBI, he was in there, and we know that the Connell knows them. I wonder if they even went to the wedding, the Crucius wedding. They all knew. But this shows you that this was an internal orchestration hit, where 23 people lost their lives. um, and we know that they would go to any length to hurt President Trump's chances of being president, to steal an election, to keep the policies from going into effect. The whole Walmart mass shooting was to absolutely divert attention from Richard's whistleblower complaints, and and absolutely to get away from the wall. From the wall, they did not want a wall. They did not want a secure border. They do not want that. They want absolute reign over that area, free transport from corpses to children to equipment to bullets to monies to substances. They want that open border policy because it is billions of dollars worth of money. So, yes, the Whittens and the Maiellas and the Cruciuses, and they all know each other. Okay, they all know each other, and this is another hard piece of evidence that corroborates that this was an orchestration. Um, for Christopher Wray to be in the crosshairs now of trouble, of real trouble. Um, that's not a surprise to us because look at what he covered up. Look at what he failed to do, right? It's just so obvious that he's so criminal because there's so much information out there that we've put out there, that our family has put out there, leads that our family has put out there, that absolutely declare that, this whole Walmart mass shooting was a cartel, um, and elite, I want to say elite orchestration. And people got killed. And I think those are targeted people. And I think that the Walmart mass shooting crime scene was staged. It's just like what happened in, the same leadership, the same Mormon faction leadership with the cartel um, in Utah with the University Valley or Utah University, um, UVU. Uh, how they're tampering with the crime scene, right? They're putting pavers down. They did not even screen off the crime scene. There's no autopsy. You can see that it's the same playbook, right? So, in the Charlie Kirk's case, I'm talking about. Yeah. So, down in El Paso, you see the um, same craziness. And Christopher Wray was in there for the longest time. And what people don't know is he had many, many letters from us outlining everything. He knew everything. Okay. And so this whole January 6th is very good to get out there. Really amazing, because it really proves that they weaponized the FBI. They sent bad actors. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, right? It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm yawning. Um, because the news cycle keeps going. There's no time to sleep. There's no time to sleep. We have to push through. We have to absolutely push through because we just have Christopher Wray, and now it looks like he's going to be indicted, and he should be indicted because look what he did to the FBI. He weaponized the FBI, and that includes in El Paso. He allowed El Paso field office to be weaponized, and that means that they became the enemy. That they became the enemy, that they weren't used to search out bad guys, but that they were supposed to cover for the bad guys, cover for them for so that they can do their criminal trafficking and everything that that entails. So that's it's just huge breaking news, and I want to say that we got some new information with Monique um, Whetten, which is the wife of Conal Whetten, and we're putting that together, and it has to do with January 6th, and it really shows you the deception. Yeah, it gives you a lot of good insight. So we'll be putting that up. But the other thing that's coming up, this is changing subject altogether, is Saint Michael and all the angels day. So Monday is Saint Michael and all the angels day. So I hope that all of you are thinking about that and absolutely pray to Michael, pray to all the angels, um, because they know where Richard's remains are. And with President Scheinbaum coming to Juarez and taking power away from Governor Maru. Governor Maru it doesn't seem like she's a governor anymore. She must be like a deputy or something like that. It seems like they took power away from her. At least that's what we heard, that they took power away from her. And so, yeah, this things are really changing very, very fast. And with this whole development in Juarez, Mexico, um, the return of Richard's remains might be more possible today than at any time. So that's very, very important news. So I just want to say thank you so much. We are a government of the people, by the people, for the people. So this is why social media is so important. Don't get diverted. Make sure you stay on topic and share everything. And that will absolutely strengthen us. Um, uh, until we get full accountability and our son's remains. Thank you so much. God bless you.